Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Rags to Riches. So, this is a content idea I've had for a little bit, which was basically spawned by coaching. And the idea was sort of, hey, I only have a couple hours a week to practice and, learn a format or a deck. Is that really doable, Mason? It feels like something that's kind of really daunting or challenging. And it's something that I think is totally doable, with just a couple hours each week. If you're really dedicated to learning and trying to be efficient with it, I think you can really learn something. And this is something I've wanted to make a video about for a while, but I wasn't sure the best way to do it. And then it occurred to me that I'm actually kind of going through this journey right now in real time. So soon coming up, I'm going to be participating in this Common Ground Cup, which is this sort of Pauper tournament run by some local guys of mine, some friends, and they love Pauper, and they have a really good Pauper podcast on it. So if you like this format, make sure to check that out if you haven't already. And I know nothing about Pauper. In fact, I would say I'm a bit of a Pauper hater. I have kind of dogged on the format in the past. I've had moments where I like playing it a little bit, but it's never really been a big thing for me. And I really want to play in this event. So this is Saturday, August 2nd, when the event is happening. And you can sort of see all the info here. It's going to be streamed as well, blah, blah. But I'm going to be participating in it. And I believe today is the 15th when I'm starting this recording. It might be close to the 16th. It's a little late at night. And so I have a little bit of time to actually learn this format. And what I want to do is I want to practice for this event just as if I was someone out there who has very strict time commitments. So my full-time job is Magic. I'm a coach all the time, and that means I have a lot of time to practice. But I really want to try to participate in this as if I am stuck with 1 hour, which is why this is above my head. So here in a second, once I'm done laying down the initial premise, I'm going to start the 1 hour timer, and I'm going to do this 4 times a week. Just basically the same idea of like, let's pretend that your Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays are all busy with real life stuff. So you only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in order to actually practice for an event. I'm going to do this sort of challenge and, experiment, you could say, just like that, only 4 times. Now, to be fair, I have actually played a couple leagues of Pauper before I actually had like the realization that this was the perfect time to do this. So I'm not starting from absolutely square one, but I think most people when they start playing a format, they do have some basic idea of kind of, like the what decks are, even if they don't understand what they're doing, and they kind of maybe play a little bit and then pick one to learn. And that's what I've done here. So I picked the Jeskai Ephemerate deck because it's the kind of deck that I really like playing. It's sort of a do-nothing, fun control deck that has some, cool play lines to it and pretty customizable. So I picked this deck because it looked fun to me. It didn't seem like the best deck. Like I think the Blue Terror deck or the Writhing Chrysalis deck both seem better so far in my limited games. Want to say I'm 20-25 matches deep on Pauper. So while this isn't the perfect experience, I'm not starting from zero. I'm doing a lot of things we've done here, and we're going to be doing in this video series together. So what's going to happen is here in a second, I'm going to click play on this timer, and we're going to go until this hits 0. When it hits 0, I'm done. I'm going to concede my game if I have to, just as if I was in real life and I had to go, I had some obligation, whether that be like a wife and kids or a job or something. I don't want to really bend the rules outside this very first video where I kind of spend a little bit more time at the start explaining the premise to y'all. So I'm going to hop right into it and we're going to get going. So let me pull up my timer over here and let's get started. So I'm already in a league. I'm 1-2 in this league and got some good learnings from this one. I believe I played against Terror and Elves were my 2 of my matches. I think I beat Elves and lost to Terror and lost something else. So we're on the play and we're just gonna kind of be doing this in real time here. So this hand isn't the best hand I've ever seen. One of the things I'm still trying to figure out is like how much can I rely on Augur plus Wildfire stuff to like get my deck going. I also have a lot of my late game in my hand. I'm gonna keep just simply because I think my hand is like fine-ish. It's definitely not good. Like there's so much like I just know like clunkiness here, but I think it's okay in some of the matchups, and that's one of the things I'm still trying to learn and come to. If you gotten coaching from in the past, we've talked about the idea of trying to form like hypothesis, play to test those hypotheses. One of the hypotheses I have that a friend kind of brought up to me that I think was kind of true is Murmuring Mystic, if it sticks through a turn cycle, basically you untap with it, a lot of decks in the format actually really struggle to beat it. So I'm curious, like if I have a double Murmuring Mystic hand, you know, is this thing reasonable? I think I'd much rather have one of these be like even a tap land, theoretically, but I want to play this and see how it goes. Our opponent's taking some time to mulligan. That's one of the things too about this, you know, is like if my opponent takes a long time, so be it. You know, we only have so much time to practice and play. We're going to be doing more than just playing on here, by the way. We're going to kind of be going through the whole entire process. There are some things that I kind of expect people to do when they're not able to play, but they have a little bit of time to write or something like that. And we'll go more into that in episode 2 when I literally do the process with you in real time. So, all right. So this is Land Grant. Okay, I know this one from Legacy. They can go to Forest. Is this an Oops All Spells situation? It is. Okay, I have not played against Oops All Spells in Pauper, so I am wholly unprepared for what's coming. Is this like a... Okay, so this is just... Tap and untap creature you control. Okay. Huh. So immediately I'm kind of for like an interesting position, or if I play this Perilous Landscape and use it to play Augur, I don't have blue. I would need to hit something like Lorien Revealed. I need Counterspell to probably fight over one of these spy effects that's going to come down. There's 2 on the bottom of their deck, and they did mulligan to a 5-card hand. So there's a decent chance they just don't have it. Like, they might just be keeping a hand that can get there. So I'm going to tap out a little bit, because I'm not exactly sure what I should or shouldn't be fighting around outside of the cards, like the 2 spies. I know I want to keep those off the board. So I'm just going to try and get some information, get some Wildfire, get some mana, and play from there. My hand's really clunky, you know. Kept a clunker and going to got a little for it. All right, so. Found a Brainstorm. Maybe this will find us a land. We can use this to search up a little. And okay, we have another one of these. Okay. I think I want to Brainstorm Fetch, most likely. I think that makes sense to me. Because I want to have all my blue mana. Alright, there's a Wildfire. I think I want to put back a Mystic. And I want to put back 1 land. I think I maybe want to put back this Breath Weapon. I was thinking I maybe want to attack and they'll block, but I think that's like pretty unlikely. And I want to make my land drops. Although the Mountain is barely a land drop, I think. So I have 2. I want to be able to play plus Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, I'll put back Breath Weapon. It's pretty unlikely, I think, to really come up. Let's go get an island, though. I think that's good, especially given what we've drawn here. So we don't need the white for a little bit. It's possible we're supposed to play this in case I draw Ephemerate. But I think next turn I'm pretty locked in on play basic, use basics to Wildfire, get even more mana. And we can just get up Plains there if we want to. So, alright, I might die here. When this enters, you may search for a basic land or a gate card. Put it in your hand. Okay, they play more than 1 land in their Oops All Spells deck. Is this not Oops All Spells? Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm just going to actually do what I would tell people to do in coaching, which is just go to Goldfish. Sometimes when I'm playing by myself, I will not actually Goldfish something, just because it isn't like the real tournament experience. Not that it's in the world. These are supposed to be learning opportunities, but I do like to try to puzzle solve. So I'm going to look that up on the other screen. Let's see here. It's not Gruul Ponza. I know there is an Oops deck, right? Is this Golgari Gardens? No. Okay, I was just thinking maybe that might be it. Not Cycle Storm. Did I miss Oops on the page? It feels like I missed Oops on the page. Alright, well, I'm not seeing it here, and I only have so much time, so we're going to look at that later, and I'm just going to continue with the game plan I had before. My counterspell is pretty good, so I guess there's a question of how many, because, God, my Cleansing Wildfire might be really good at blowing up their lands, but If I knew how many lands they'd play, then I'd feel a lot better about this, but I don't, so I'm just going to grab this Plains, drew another land. Okay. It will pass. Okay, let's see. I'm looking on the other screen here still to try and find this deck. Alright, this is a Lead the Stampede. I think I'm okay with that. I just want to fight over the spies. You know, this finds a spy. I only have one answer. I mean, I guess I could Archaeomancer to get back. You're not the end of the world. Oh, is this like a cephalid breakfast thing? Okay. This is like this was in Legacy for a bit. Alright. So my opponent is not playing an... Maybe they are playing like an Oops style deck, but it's definitely different. I don't know. Okay, so Scred can be used to clear up here a little bit. I'd like to play my Mystic, but I can play it next turn and be safe. I could Muldrifter to kind of get my mana going. Or use my mana, excuse me. I want to say get my mana going. So I gotta get better at articulating my thoughts fully here. I'm just gonna think and then explain. So I can play this Mystic. My opponent is some sort of combo-y deck. So I think I want to Scred one of these. Just doesn't seem... I'm gonna wait on the Scred for now. I'll do it at end of turn. And I'll play this Silver Bluff Bridge. I guess if I Scred now, I get to hit for 1. I'm going to do it either way. These are all cards. Yeah. Let's just Scred this. It's not even like I'm going to be able to kill many big things. I'm going to counter the spies. I guess theoretically I could let a spy resolve. The one where they have to pay a man to sack it. But I think that... I don't remember which one that is. Alright, so Generous End. Get a forest. We're going to see this forest get played. Yep. Oh, is this just the Walls deck? I've been tricked, I think. Walls combo. Okay, this deck I'm looking at on my screen doesn't have some of the cards we've seen. So this might still be the Walls deck. So this is add a green for each creature you control with Defender. So if I 1, 2, 3, 4, I can counter this and then pick it up with my Archaeomancer. So I think I'm going to do that. Just keep them tied up on mana for the moment. I mean, I get they still have like 4 mana, but when you're using this kind of card, you're going to play things like these two. Okay, alright. So ended up getting a little lucky there. My Archaeomancer is going to be much better now because I have Ephemerate. So now we get to be very aggressive with our countering. The big part of this deck is kind of knowing when to turn the corner. My opponent maybe has some sort of interaction. Okay, Swamp Cycle. Whew. I was like, I hope they don't have like a Cling to Dust variant. That would have been a really bad news for me. Alright, so I'm learning a lot here. My opponent's deck... Oh, wait. I didn't mean to F6. I get to attack? Yeah, I get very anxious about my auto yields. One time early on in Magic, I didn't understand how they worked and like lost a match to Pascal Maynard, which you can find on Channel Fireball. Maybe I'll try to find it and link it below. But ever since then, I've been incredibly anxious about this sort of thing, which isn't really the end of the world. I shouldn't care. You know, if I lose a game on Moto, I lose a game on Moto. But all right, I mean, we've got our opponent soft locked here. I mean, Ephemerate Counterspell is really strong. When this creature enters, you may exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact. Oh, that's going to blow up one of my lands. Actually, I'm just going to fight over this because I have the Ephemerate. If I didn't, I would just let them Stone Rain me. But I've got Ephemerate. I'm chilling. I'm going to play this Mystic and Ephemerate this, and then, you know, play from there. Okay, drawing Counterspell was really good. Play Murmuring Mystic. F6. Nice. thinking about it, I mean, this card and Spy seem to be like the only things I really need to counter. I'm going to definitely counter Spies if they come up. Any combination. Okay, so this definitely matters. I'm going to just counterspell this again. Get my Mystic Trigger. Maybe I should have ephemerated first to not let them know about that, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. This is something I can think about for the future to maximize. Yeah, my opponent concedes. Nice. Okay, great. So we won game one. We learned a little bit about what's going on with our opponent's deck. They're trying to abuse a bunch of mana and I guess like put a bunch of stuff in graveyard so the Lotleth Giant kills. That's why they have the Spies. I think the Spies put cards in yard. I guess I can look that up real quick just to confirm. I don't want to be silly about it. Balustred Spy, I believe, is the first one. Learned I don't know how to spell Balustred. Let's just type in Spy. All right, I definitely didn't put a U. All right, so the Spy puts all the cards in the graveyard, so that makes sense. And then the Undercity Informant. Yeah, so they both put them all in the graveyard. Okay, so Graveyard Hate's going to be a lot better here than I might have guessed at first blush, so I'm glad we checked that out. Breath Weapon looks a little bad. I don't know how good Union of the Third Path actually is. I'm going to guess not very good. I found a deck online that looks to be playing these cards minus the spy stuff. And they just play a bunch of forests. So our opponent might be playing like Golgari Wall combo. I'm just looking through all the deck lists here. So one of the things I would do in my free time is try to find this deck when I'm not able to play Magic, but I can look stuff up. You know, even though we only have 1 hour to practice, I'm assuming most people can do a little bit of investigating. You also notice my deck has 61 cards. Every version of this deck just had 61, and I'm going to figure out what to cut eventually. That's part of the process. But I don't understand the deck well enough, or the format well enough to understand what is and isn't cuttable. So I'm just rocking it. Also, 61 cards, not the end of the world. Dom Harvey top 8 at Pro Tour doing it. I can 3-2 a Pauper League doing it. So, all right. We got a little lucky to our opponent. Sideboarded mulliganed a bunch last game. I just brought this in. Seemed reasonable. I don't know. I didn't... Maybe this is bad. I just feel like my opponent has to have some way to interact back. This is also why, if you've done coaching in the past, I talk about it's so important to do your homework before you play. I did do my homework for like Writhing Chrysalis, Mono Blue, Burn, those kind of decks. I do have a pretty good grasp on and kind of what I think matters. All right, let's land Grant. But you know, if you don't know what's going on, it's so much harder to play the games, especially if you're playing a deck that interacts a lot, right? If I was playing like Elves, I could just be like, well, I know there's something going on, but I don't know what. All right, well, I'm just going to pass, hold up my Dispel. Oh, no, turn off auto yield. Okay, now, whew, I got to stop auto yielding. All right, F6 now. Let's see. So this is the card we saw before. That's Winding Way. I know that card. It's Gatekeeper, fine. Okay, I know we've seen all these cards. Let's just dismiss. Okay. The Caretaker. So, I mean, part of this series as well is going to be, like, us figuring out what to actually play for the event. I'm probably just going to play this because these are the cards I have, but you never know. I'm going to take the Untapped Island. As much as I want to get a red land in play and start wildfiring, like, whenever I draw the bridge, just going to hold up Counterspell, not get got. Cool. It's fine. Got these Lauren revealed. Slow and steady wins the race here. We saw from the last game at least 3 forests and a swamp. Looking online, people do have a decent number of lands. Alright, they did play this card. I mean, I'm fine with them getting a couple lands. If I had more counterspell, like if this Dispel wasn't their counterspell, sure. Maybe I'll Cleansing Wildfire the Swamp. Winding Way. Do I care enough about that? It's a lot of gas. They have 3 cards in hand. I think I want to spend next turn actually developing Augur, which means my mana will be used. I'm not super confident there. I could see myself skredding this if I draw skred, so I want to hold on the mountain. I can see myself skredding it. Here I go, hit a skred. Babinga. Alright, we're gonna pass now. We might just be hard casting a Lorien Revealed. I might Cleansing Wildfire. Wait, it's just, yes, it's target land. Yeah, okay, so I can blow up this swamp, see if they have a second one. Be useful for game number 2. Or game number 3, excuse me. They play a forest. I know they have that. I think that one was already played. I don't think I actually knew this. Okay, so them passing is probably pretty good. Probably a sign they have, like, giants. Oh, that's really good. Maybe something in that vein. So do I want to island cycle this turn to guarantee the Lorien Reveal in the next turn? I probably want to hold up Counterspell for a couple turns. So I think I want to do something like this. I just want to see what happens. I want to give me a little info. Give me a card. I can still island cycle at the end of turn. Okay, so they grabbed another forest. It seems pretty hard for me to actually get spied, so I can now play this Glacial Floodplain. It's not perfect, but I don't think I'd really counterspell like a thing that makes black mana here, like another one of these caretakers. I would counterspell like the Vinekeeper. This is a sorcery? Okay. So let's see what they hit here. Maybe want to cycle this Lorien Revealed still. Whoa. Search library for basic land. Alright, that card's sick. I like that one in limited a lot. I drafted that card a lot. Axebane Guardian. This is the card I was thinking of. It's this in the 2-mana version. Alright, Quirion Ranger. Okay. That's really good with these untappers. Oh, sorry, this is a good untapper with these things, I should say. Okay, they're going to play another 1-drop. Sure. Alright. Okay, our Chaomancer would be great to draw soon. Alright. Just gonna play this land and pass, I think. I think I need to make sure I fight over this Axebane Guardian. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm just supposed to draw 3, let them get, like, Guardian down and potentially start casting their big cards. Hope I draw, like, a Bolt effect. Believable enough. So the more I'm seeing of their deck, my Breath Weapon might actually be kind of good. I don't think I hate this Union either, just to draw a card. Alright, so I don't have anything that this hits, so I'm going to let that resolve. Let's go Snowland. I wonder how good this deck is of theirs. It seems like it's doing some powerful stuff. I don't feel like I have a lot of cards for it. I guess I just have, like, Interaction. And they're, like, a critical mass deck. One of the things I've learned about my deck so far is theoretically I can handle most things. In practice, I really can't. In practice, it's, like, pretty hard when I fall behind in some of these matchups. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to island cycle too at end of turn. Get a, like, a dual land, play dual land next turn, then play this island turn 7, counter plus Lorien. Probably depends a lot on if I actually use my counterspell this turn. Okay. I am still over here on the other screen looking to find this deck. Oh, wait, I think I found it. Okay, I did. Spy combo. Boom. I just missed it. It was definitely on the screen before. That's my bad, gamers. All right, so they played 4 mass vandals. Jesus. Oh, that's the dragon. Okay, I just didn't recognize the art. Was this? Okay, so now we can kind of look. All right, there are no instants in the deck. All right, this dispel is really bad. We gotta get rid of this. There's some instants in the sideboard. Doesn't look like they're for me. All right, so yeah, I think we're trying to get Lotleth Giant down and just also cast big dum-dums. Give a Dread Return. Okay. Acorn Harvest. Okay, so I mean, theoretically, this is the only lands they have. So, this Axeman Guardian, pretty important, I think. I think I just want to tap out. Lorien Revealed. I think this game's going to go for a bit. So the real question is... Okay, that's interesting. They have a good amount of mana, actually, with Quirion Ranger plus this untapping. So do I want to leave up an island, or do I want to leave up a mountain? I think I'd rather leave up a mountain and hit this Quirion Ranger with a Scred effect if I draw it. So we'll do this. Boop, 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 boop. I might draw a tap land and feel kind of bad, but I'm playing with some intent here. Maybe it's the wrong one, but... Okay, so now I have this here. Okay, I haven't hit another one. Alright, well, I can't really do anything, so I'm just going to pass. Maybe I'll hit this Lorien Revealed into another land just to make sure we keep having mana up. Could get dragoned here pretty easily, but didn't really have anything else going on. Cleansing Wildfire is also really hard to get when there's a Quirion Ranger in play. Ever tried to wasteland somebody in Legacy? Like somebody when they got the new Cradle? Doesn't happen. Okay. They got the Spy. Theoretically, this should be a lot, right? Because we hit all the lands. Alright, they have no cards in deck. Am I dead? They knew they weren't going to hit. Alright, we also get to see all of their deck and how they sideboarded. What is this? Ooh, discard counterspell. Okay. So there is some counter magic. Oh, they have the Dread Return. Ah, I see. Okay. And they're going to get Beth the Giant. That is lethal. Good to know. Okay. Dispel. Shitty spell. Spell Pierce might actually be kind of great against their land grant stuff. Be good against Dread Return. I can see this being good. Union of the Third Path. So this was my main deck? I have a Dispel in my main deck? Did not realize that. Breath Weapon actually looked a little better than I would give it credit for. These are actually kind of great. I can maybe just blow up my opponent's lands and like really pick them apart. Murmuring Mystic, I'm a little less interested in. I do need to win, but I just don't think I'm going to have the ability to tap out for this as much as I would like to. So I'm gonna try playing the game like this. I think I'm going to just try to be like, pick you apart, not let you get your synergies together and call it a day there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best hand I've ever had, but it's definitely workable. It's going to lane go. Play this Augur on 2. One of the things I'm interested in is sort of how many games can I actually get in an hour. It depends a lot on your deck and your opponent's decks too, don't get me wrong, but... I've had some Pauper matches go the full hour. I've had others, not as much. Okay. I am curious. Breath Weapon is a card that, like, could easily be very bad. Bolts would be great here. Ooh, what if I put lands I wanted on bottom of my deck? If we draw a white land, I'll probably play this Union and try to cantrip into a land so I can ephemerate this Muldrifter. If we whiff on the land, I'm just going to brainstorm. Maybe we get locked. Such is life. Kept a bit of a risky one in that regard. This deck seems hard to play against if you don't have the right tools. It's kind of got a fair-ish game plan. Oh, shit. They hit 4 things. Demir Honor Guard. Transmute. Oh. Kind of a cool little card. Let's see. So this is another version of the deck. All right, so Augur. Yeah, if we whiff now and brainstorm, we'll at least get out of the lock. We'll get a card back and move underneath. Perfect. So I got a white land. So my other stuff is live. I could play Augur this turn, which I think I kind of like going Island that, which means I'm going to lose one of these cards. I think I'm okay with that. Let's go to this. Well, what is this thing again? It's an X3. This is it's the same card. So Breath Weapon would have some targets, but I think it's better than a Union. I guess theoretically I can Union enough that these Lotless Giant can't kill me, which is pretty funny to think about. I had not considered that. Like I just Ephemerate Archaeomancer. That's a cool little way to win. Alright, well Destroy Evil definitely has some targets, but not as many as Breath Weapon, because I can see the Breath Weapon target. And I think blowing up Quirion Ranger is probably just good enough. My opponent might also make a mistake when I attack next turn and block with this. A lot less likely than in hand, but technically I think that could occur. I'm going to need to figure out if I actually want to tap out for Breath Weapon next turn. It's an instant, so I can kind of hold up my mana. We'll figure that out. All right, there's the land grant. These are the ones that were in the hand. All right, Axebane Guardian down. Love to draw a Lightning Bolt here. So, if I Breath Weapon now, I make it so they only have 3, 5 mana, which is enough to win. Seems kind of hard for them to beat me counterspelling. So I'm just going to do this and attack. Technically, I should have attacked first, not losing sleep on it. I'm going to be a lot more lax on myself when I'm talking out loud. And practicing is not how I normally do it. I would suggest also if you're practicing in a weird way or something you're not used to when it comes to playing, being a little bit nicer to yourself. It's important to have a high standards for ourselves in our play, but we also want to be realistic. You might be ephemerating this Augur of Bolas here soon. Alright. It's a lot of mana here. Like a lot. I guess in the Spy Inners, I can always Breath Weapon 2 to kill their creatures, but that's not necessarily a great plan. There's a plan another Axebane Guardian, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really want to counterspell that. 3 mana. The number of creatures, yeah, with Defender. Okay. Seems like their deck would not be very good against Mono Blue Terror. They do seem really good against Jund Chrysalis. Ugh. This is my white source. Ah, I have to let it go. Yep. Another moment where the cleansing wildfire stupid ass artifact lands have made me mad. Well, that's such as life. What are you gonna do? That's one of the things I have been thinking a lot about is like, do I have to actually play these cards? I kind of get it in my deck because I'm so mana intensive, but this kind of stuff has happened to me a lot. Also, in my deck that needs all its mana a lot of the time, so I don't know. It's in the back of my mind, you know. Thinking I misplayed the turn that I brainstormed augured. Should have put something like ephemerate on top. Picked it up with the augur and not let them know about breath weapon. That way they block. But all right, leave the stampede, land grant. This is a creature, right? Yeah, this is the for each creature with defender. Okay. So they do have the quote unquote counter spell in hand now. So this is a frustrating one. I still think I just let it resolve. Even though life's going to be a little difficult. I'm just going to fire my breath weapon off to kill Quirion Ranger. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. A white source that can't be disenchanted. I should be able to attack here pretty freely. They'll probably play around another one or something like Lightning Bolt on this guy. They have so much mana though, they might not care. I imagine yeah. Alright, we'll play this Glacial Floodplain and we'll pass. Probably in trouble here. Maybe my Murmuring Mystic should have stayed in my deck. That would have been awkward. Yeah, I mean, you've got a billion mana. You have a billion mana and my counterspell doesn't really work. Because you got this thing. It's probably better for me to fight now so I can draw like Archaeo. And next turn I want to ephemerate. So if for some reason they want this to get countered, I can't imagine why they would. Yeah, they're just going to use the crab. Search your library for a card with the same mana value as this card. Oh, Dimir House Guard's actually another copy of the one spy. That's really cute. You know what? I won't pay the 3. So I should be dead here, right? There's 4 mana in the pool. You tap this for 4. Or 5. Transmute this. Go grab spy, dread return, kill me. Do they have like their dread return in hand? How many do they play? It looks like they play 2. I guess this build's a little different from the one I'm just looking at right now, but it's pretty much the same. I feel like I'm dead here. I guess they could be afraid of something. No surgicals over here, Poppy. Okay, so this should be transmute, get spy, play spy, get Lawless Giant. Oh, they're checking my hand first. Sure. There's like no way the cards in their hand are. One's it'd be dread return. Even if it was dread return, couldn't they still like win? Be really close. Transmute, play, hardcast because dread return's 4, 8, 11. Yeah, I think they have enough that they can do that. Yeah, we're just dead. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, that seems like another matchup where things were pretty awkward for me. Hmm. Definitely. I do have a main deck Dispel, huh? Anyways, definitely should have sided this out in game number 2. But didn't know that deck had no Dispel targets, so get got, but now I know. Breath Weapon doesn't have enough targets to make me happy. Draven Charm was good. I mean, that would have been like a potentially game-winning card had I like been able to get it and hold it up. So I don't know. Weird thing about these decks, right? Like they gotta be kind of tailored to the right stuff. So that might also just be a matchup we're not supposed to be winning. I think I have enough like just miscellaneous spot removal, like this 5. Spell Pierce is sometimes okay, sometimes bad. My Destroy Evil doesn't line up very well, I don't think. It kills the 1/2 drop and their big things in their fair plan. That looks to be it. So, I don't know. I'm going to need to do a little thinking on that matchup. But a lot of good learnings on how that deck worked. And that's part of the experience. You know, sometimes you're going to play a match and you're going to lose when maybe you could have won if you had played better. I don't really think I could have. I mean, I messed up the one thing with the Augur, and I should have put back an Ephemerate and then added Ephemerate. That way my Breath Weapon could maybe actually kill something that had higher than 2 toughness by them blocking. You do. But I don't think there was anything like too devastating there. I need to go back and watch it again too. VOD review is a big part of improving. Okay, well, I need to get a land from my deck. Did I put a bit of plains? I think I just want to grab this tap land and play my tap land. Eagles of the North, grab plains. All right, a battle of wits is beginning. Squadron Hawk. Holy. How many Hawks are we adding? Just one. Value Hawk. Okay, so I think this is that black-white deck. I've not actually played against this, but it's like, it might be mono-white aggro too, I guess. Alright, so a couple decks this could be. My Breathe Weapon might be really good here. Breath Weapon, excuse me. I think I kind of just want to get my Muldrifter converted to cards. I'm also happy just to Augur, I think, and hold up Ephemerate on it. Yeah, I think I'm happy taking this counterspell. We might just be turning Lorien Revealed into a land anyways, so. Okay, so this looks to be the white aggro deck then, so far. Yeah, I mean, I have Breath Weapon. Feeling pretty good about this. I'm more worried about my clock timer from my challenge. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't really. They do have some abilities to grow their team. Prismatic Strands might be really strong here. They discard that card, but I think we're okay. I think we're going to power through in this trying time. Battle Screech. Okay. Flashback, tap 3 and tap white creatures you control. Alright. Yeah, let's just make our land drop with Lorien Revealed. Go get an Eilund. I'm just gonna slam. We talked about this at the beginning of the video. Like, I really want to get a gauge on how good is this thing at really taking over games. Prismatic Strand's an instant, right? Yeah, okay. So I do have this Dispel for that, which is funny. Alright, so Thraben Charm, Guardians play. Greatsword Tyrant. Oh, idyllic range. Nice. That's actually kind of great art. I never really noticed that art before. Huh. Alright. Squadron Hawk's bigger, but still breath weaponable. Oh, summon Choco! Alright, so this is different than the one I got over here. Well. Do I got an island I can draw? No. Boop, 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 boop. Let's just clean this board up a good bit here. What is this? Control a planes, you may tap an untapped creature you control. Creature. What the hell? Uh-oh. Alright, that was not on the list over there. Well, should have kept up Dispel instead, I guess. Ruh-roh. Still got some of it. I'm gonna attack still, I think, with this, because I'm probably gonna end up just ephemerating it, looking for more answers. Okay, well, I guess I should have known about this card. Creatures? This is kind of a nice card. This card's like really nice. Why is this not in this person's deck over here? This 601 person got me. Alright, well, I'll ephemerate this. I mean, they could very easily have some sort of like pump spell thing here again, but oh, it's 16. I don't know, I just can't take that much damage. Yep. I guess I could have played around this one specifically by blocking here, but I think to think about for next time. Alright, we got a land, quote unquote. So this is a disenchant. Or it's actually just a erase. Yeah, this thing, it's gonna go away soon, but go on an island cycle, then play 2. I guess I could island cycle, play Dawnbringer Cleric, and then hold up Counterspell. Destroy target enchantment. There's still a Squadron Hawk in hand, which is their last card, but this holds down the ground a good bit. Alright. Now we can play Muldrifter to hold up the air. I get to double block if they attack. I'll double block this. Shouldn't have played your little 1-drop guy. Is there something in the graveyard that does stuff? This doesn't. Alright, well. I'm down to trade one of my guys for this. Maybe they're thinking they want to kill the cleric in case I ephemerate the cleric to buy some more turns. Maybe also by doing this, they get to attack with some of these next turn. All kind of reasonable. Just want to play my 2/2 that flies and draws 2 cards. Nice. I drew a Dispel so I can actually fight over some stuff. This is no longer in their hand. Yep. Always yield. There we go. Yeah. My Augur of Bolas might find me some answers. Could see an all-out attack here. Boom, boom, play this. Find an ephemerate, please. All right, I'll take this bolt. Not going to be too sad about that. Gonna hold the bolt for now. Let's take a look here. I mean, the Summon Choco magic card is just a card I probably want to bolt down. Okay, that's a big reward for holding. Definitely should have played around the +2/+2 thing multiple turns ago. Imagine if we had and we kept this Mystic by blocking the 2/2 instead of trying to just absorb one more point. Would have made our life a lot easier. Great little learning moment. I think I'm going to wait one more turn cycle. Go for an end of turn, bolt this, and then start attacking in the air. It's just a redraw. I've got a really strong position here. I'm just going to shove, basically, hit my lead. My top decks are basically better than theirs across the board. Alright, I've got a 5-turn clock here. Ground's covered. I've got Destroy Evil in case they like play the +2/+2. I'll be able to kill one of these. Okay. They get to pick up their land that puts a counter. That's really good. Alright. Oh, they just picked itself. Oh, they're gaining life. Oh, that's cool. I like that. If they knew this clock above my head, they'd actually just, no, this is a great play. That's cool. I like that play a lot. Feels like you could do it again. Maybe that's a sign there's actually some interaction in hand. Destroy Evil is fairly common in this deck, but... Alright, my opponent concedes. Yeah, it feels like they could have gained another life and maybe even done a bit more, but... Alright, so these two seem good. This is a card I'm really interested in. Elfy type stuff. I don't know. I am Stonehorn Dignitary. You're on the fraud watch for me, as are a couple other cards that we'll talk about more as time goes on. So, I mean, Spell Pierce I don't love. Dispel, there seem to be enough big pump spells, and I'm kind of happy to have it. Destroy Evil, kind of also awkward. This Wildfire stuff, not a huge fan of. There's some X1, so I'm going to leave in this one Cast into the Fire. Let's submit it. Some good learnings, though, so far. We learned a lot about the Upsal spell stack. Learned a new pump spell I'd never seen before. This hand's totally fine. It's definitely not like the best hand I've ever seen, but my opponent's on a mold of 5. I mean, they have Squadron Hawk, Novice Inspector on a mold of 4. That's tough. That's tough. Definitely don't want that when I'm practicing. I think I want to go something like... play the Frey Lord. Whatever this thing's called. Frey Lord's from League of Legends. Whenever you say this. Volatile. Red-white land. My opponent and I are talking about the fact they're mulliganing, and they're basically like, it is what it is, and that's true. That's a good mindset to have. Yeah, I'm just going to play my land tapped. This is going to be okay. I think I can afford to be a little bit slower to deploy. Because I could have gone like Perilous into Island Cycle. Get like a white land, hold this for a while for my Brainstorm, but I'm just going to play my cards like this and not be so weird about it and trying to like create weird value. So we played the Plains that we searched up. Okay. It's a 2/1. That's actually pretty huge for me. I'm going to play my Augur and... Ooh. Take that Ephemerate, yeah. Raven Charm, nice play there. Interesting. Drew this stinky little tap land. I think I'm going to do something like bolt this, play this, and then just fetch with it immediately. I guess I want to brainstorm actually first. I should have. This is bad. Bad sequencing. I rushed, got punished. Could have used this. Just bad play, bad play. Let's put this back, and I think I don't want this mountain. Maybe I want the Silver Bridge back. Makes my wildfires a lot worse. Thought I wanted the wildfires to get to the big mana spells. It's fine. Alright, so this is on kill, summon Choco duties, maybe some sort of anthem duty. In the unenviable position of lands and spells are good draws. Okay. Bam. Bam. Oh, I didn't. That's fine. It is okay. I was thinking and didn't fully think through my things about to say something, and then now I look like a silly goose, but that is okay. We'll just grab this plains in case there's some like make like a raise the alarm type card I want to fight over. We have this Lorien revealed. We'll cast here in a second. When this enters, you become the Monarch. Uh-oh. That's a good way to come out from behind. Holy. Well, let's draw 3 cards. Alright, now we'll start working through this. Breath Weapon could be a good draw here. Or Battle Screeching, yep. I can attack here to try to get the Monarch back. I think I want to do that. I think I'm down just to trade. I could ephemerate the Muldrifter first, but I think I'm pretty happy just having this be the evoke this. Draw 2. Looking for some Wrathy type effects. Looking for some... Ooh, there it is. Alright, we have assembled a lock. We just need to not die now. So we can go land for turn. And then do something like play Dawnbringer Cleric. And just discard this Cleansing Wildfire, because who cares? We have this Dispel for the burn, or the buff, excuse me. I guess I could have played this the previous turn and got rid of the Battle Screech. That was probably better. It's a good learning moment. Just totally forgot about that card. Definitely not the end of the world. Okay. They're land cycling. Idyllic. A little surprised they didn't pop the Clue first. But not anything I'd lose sleep over if I were them. Alright, well, I have the game won. They just don't know it. Because I have Stormhorn Dignitary plus Archaeomancer. So they need like a Thraben Charm type card in order to beat this. They might be using a Thraben Charm on this Muldrifter right now in order to like prevent my Ephemerate from finding even more stuff. Core Skyfisher, okay. Pick up the Grange, pick up the Thraben Inspector. Yeah, replay the Inspector. So definitely not in a hard winning position. Before blocks, let's just see if we can... Actually, this is fine. Who cares? We got this Stonehorn Dignitary. I don't need to get tricky with it. I can spread down this flyer into turn. I'd much rather do this, I think. Nice. Okay. Cool, we got them to tap out. Alright, let's just Ephemerate. Oh, shit. Ah, she. Muldrifter, draw 2 cards. That's a breath weapon. That makes my life a lot easier, too. Alright, double block. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 3 mana left over after I play this or this Archaeo. So that means I want to do something along the lines of like attack with these 2. I guess I could cast Breath Weapon and I become the Monarch for sure, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Then I attack here. Alright, so they did flash this back. Cool. Sure. Lose my Muldrifter. Oh, that's right, prevents it, so I don't even take it. That's funny. Alright, boom, 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 boom. So the next turn I get to Archaeomancer Ephemerate. And then they never get a combat step. Really impressive stuff from our opponent's deck, though, here on a mold of 5 or 4, something like that. Palace Sentinels. This was a great card. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. Play this. Pick up Ephemerate. It's going to start off with an Ephemerate here. Just see what happens. Let's see, they have Thraben Charm. They didn't. And then we'll do this here to go get a land from our deck. Okay, perfect. All right, the timer reset. So yeah, that's going to do it for the end of the video. I'm going to call it here, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Well, it'll probably be tomorrow. I'm figuring out the exact upload days to make it much more like the practice we had seen here. But yeah, I mean, we've basically won this game a lot of the time. And even if we do like end up like losing this game, or had we lost this game, I'm just going to concede it here in a second and upload this video. But even if we had, we still learned what we needed to from this game, right? And that's really what kind of matters, is trying to get good learnings from these sort of things and see what matters. And it seems like Stormhorn Dignitary really kind of pulling us weight here. Thraben Charm's a card I need to be hyper aware of when I'm playing in spots like this. And so it seems like my Dispels are actually pretty good between that and a couple of the buff spells, excuse me. So yeah, great takeaways here. And yeah, I will see you all next time for another episode of Rags to Riches.